Vivo V21 5G Review. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe buttons, so that we can continue to provide the latest information about gadgets and technology. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. If you are into making TikTok videos or you know someone who is, you already know the importance of the selfie video format. In other words, an increasing number of people, especially young people, want phones which are better geared towards capturing selfies and selfie video content. Preferably more affordable ones. Bafflingly enough, though, few devices, even from the popular flagship bunch, have really offered much in terms of selfie camera improvements. Enter the Vivo V21 Duo. Their call to fame is unquestionably the 44MP f/2.0 selfie camera with autofocus and WAH. That's not something you see every day. Not by a long shot. It's intriguing to note that while we have the V21 5G for review today, it's literally identical to the vanilla Vivo V21 down to the Dimensity 800U 5G chipset. We guess, they've merely removed the 5G antenna for the 4G only model. A bit of an unorthodox approach, but we won't complain since the regular V21 gets all of the goodies of its 5G sibling. Vivo V21 5G specs at a glance. Body, 159.7 by 73.9 by 7. 3mm, 176 grams, plastic back, plastic frame, glass front. Display, 6.44 inches AMOLED, 90 Hz, HDR10+, 500 nits, TOP, 1080 by 2400 px resolution, 20:9 aspect ratio, 409p. Chipset, MediaTek MT6853 Dimensity 800U 5G, 7nm, octa-core, 2x2. 4 GHz Cortex-A76 and 6x2. 0 GHz Cortex-A55, Mali G57MC3. Memory, 128GB 8GB RAM, 256GB 8GB RAM, UFS 2.2, microSD-XC, uses shared SIM slot. OS/software, Android 11, FunTouch 11.1. Rear camera, wide, main, 64MP, f/1.8, 26mm, 11.72, 0.8 micrometers, PAF, WAH, ultra wide angle, 8MP, f/2.2, 120 degree, 16mm, 1/4.0, 1.12 micrometers, macro, 2MP, f/2.4. Front camera, 44MP, f/2.0, wide, AF, WAH. Video capture, rear camera, 4K at 30fps, no WAH, 1080p at 30/60fps, front camera, 4K at 30fps, no WAH, 1080p at 30fps. Battery, 4000 mAh, fast charging 33 watts, 63% in 30 minutes, advertised. Miscellaneous, fingerprint reader, under display, optical, selfie LEDs. The mighty selfie camera aside, the V21 Duo doesn't skimp on the rest of its specs sheet either. It is a surprisingly thin phone, measuring 159.7 by 73.9 by 7.3mm and tipping the scale at 176 grams, while still housing a respectable 4000 mAh battery. The mid-range MediaTek Dimensity 800U, found at their cores, is paired with 8GB of RAM. And front and center, there is the punchy and smooth 90Hz AMOLED panel, with HDR10+ support. The camera setup on the back is not too shabby either, with a 64MP main snapper, 8MP ultra-wide and a 2MP macro. All things considered, what we have with the V21 on paper is a solid mid-ranger. However, its MSRP of a bit over €300 makes the 5G model we review here vulnerable to plenty of competition. And this competition often can deliver on some of the things Vivo has left out, like ingress protection, a stereo speaker setup, 3.5mm jack and NFC, to name a few. What the V21 has, though, is a clear spotlight feature in its selfie camera setup. So, the real question becomes just how well it is executed in practice and whether it is good enough to draw a trendy crowd of social network savvy customers. Unboxing. The V21 has a surprisingly rich retail package. Of course, this might not necessarily be the case on every market, but our unit had all of the essentials in the box and then some. Starting with the charger, Vivo has its own flash charge 2.0 tech. On the V21 and V21 5G, it can charge up to a maximum of 33 watts. It is rated for 5 volts at 2A, 9 volts at 2A or 11 volts at 3A of output. There is also Super Flash Charge 2.0, as seen on the Vivo X60 Pro Plus, which can go up to 55 watts. As far as we managed to gather, both of these use a similar proprietary charging approach, which uses higher voltages, akin to Qualcomm's Quick Charge, instead of higher concurrent amperage, like VOOC and its derivatives. Information on the topic is a bit scarce, but this should mean that Flash Charge 2.0 can work at its full 33 watts or near them with a standard USB Type-A to Type-C cable, like the one included in the box. You just need to make sure that it's of decent quality. We are only explaining this, since it's sort of A+ in Vivo's favor that you don't necessarily need to worry about always having the proprietary cable at hand. Also, in the V21's box, a pair of Vivo branded white earbuds, with a microphone and inline controls. Interestingly enough, these are not Type-C, but rather standard 3.5mm ones. You also get a tiny Type-C to 3.5mm dongle to attach them to the phone. Arguably, a more versatile setup, both for using the quite decent sounding buds on a different device, as well as plugging other headphones into the V21. Finally, you get a nice clear TPU case in the box, as well. It features a flap to seal the Type-C port on the phone, a valiant effort, though not a substitute for actual gaskets and a proper ingress protection rating. Design and materials. Looks are always going to be subjective, but it's hard to deny how slick and clean the Vivo V21 is. This appears to be the pervasive design language across Vivo's lineup, with the V21 line, in particular, taking after its X60 bigger siblings. There is just something about the two-piece rectangular camera island and its various accents, chamfers and general arrangement that is somehow reminiscent of business and serious designs of old. This is particularly true for the dusk blue color of our review unit. It is a very deep blue, almost bordering on steel color, which works together nicely with the glossy and slightly different shade of blue/steel on the middle frame. Speaking of the frame, it is, in fact, color matched with the back and the camera island. A nice little touch that ties the whole design together. If serious is not your thing, then you can go for the much more colorful Sunset Dazzle color or the Arctic White. That last one seems to only be available on the 5G version of the Vivo V21. The Vivo V21 is a slick device in a more literal sense, too, measuring just 7.3mm in thickness. That is somewhat contrasted by the flat surface design of the middle frame. The frame has a sort of iPhone vibe to it, which is far from criticism. Overall, the Vivo V21 looks very premium. Definitely punching above its mid-range price bracket in the looks department. It also feels good and well made. As far as we can gather, both the back and the middle frame on the V21 are made of plastic. Quite differently feeling plastic, though. The back is almost silky to the touch on our dusk blue unit. It feels quite premium by touch, but it's not particularly easy to keep clean. The frame is shiny and smooth. The glass on the front is probably not Gorilla Glass as otherwise Vivo would have boasted about it. There is also a factory pre-applied screen protector. It's thin and well applied. Speaking of the front side, the bezels around the 6.44-inch AMOLED display are reasonable in thickness, but their size is still a dead giveaway for the mid-range pedigree of the V21. While there is no official ingress protection rating on the Vivo V21, it is worth noting that the SIM tray has a clearly visible, bright red gasket on it. We suspect there is at least some dust and splash protection in place. Controls. The Vivo V21 has a standard control scheme. The volume rocker and power button on the right side are easy to reach and provide nice tactile feedback. The textured finish on the power button is a nice touch.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.